Thank you for having that shit mean something. Time of day.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
Coming at you live from Boulder's backyard, it's Buffs News Radio Show with your host, Russ. And near is your host, Russ!
Coming
at you live from Boulder,
Buffs Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. I'm your host, Russ, and it is Wednesday. Apologies for not being around on Monday, just dealing with some things. So yeah, I'm glad to be back on this Wednesday. You get a double dose of Buffs talk today. Obviously, we have the show right now here at 4:30, but we'll also have the Buff Blitz tonight with David Talks Buffs at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure you guys join us then. Of course, if you like what I'm doing here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and appreciate you, Jordan, for being here as well. Thank you so much for joining me today on the live. And again, hopefully we'll see you around tonight as well. Just getting everything set up here and figured out. But yeah, guys, we have to talk about West Virginia. Haven't had a chance to talk about it since the post-game show with David on Saturday afternoon. Be very interested to hear some of your guys' responses, what you're thinking now here in the middle of the week. Alex with we finally have a quarterback that cares. Trust me. It's been my biggest thing that I have been hammering home since Julian Lewis took over 2 weeks ago and into last week's game. You can just tell he cares. It's why I started the show with the emotion that he had in the locker room from losing and him saying, I don't like to lose. I don't like to lose. And honestly, that is a massive, respectful thing that you have for a quarterback, because I feel like we did not get that at all from the other quarterback. So excited, happy to see that. Excited to see what they pull out here with the bye week. I mean, they're going to have an entire extra week to work with Julian Lewis and Brett Bartolone. Julian Lewis already said in his press conference, which I absolutely loved, by the way. Absolutely loved Julian Lewis's response when it came to that press conference after the West Virginia loss, how he took responsibility, how he, talked about what was going on. That was a huge thing to me, an absolutely huge thing. And in fact, I'm going to play that clip here. Give me 1 second to have that popped up. We will, we'll show you, because I think it's one complaint that I've had about Julian Lewis, about this team and the way that Coach Prime has formulated this team with what he's doing. So real quick, let me pull this up and you guys can let me know again what your thoughts are on this. Give me 2 seconds here while it goes, and appreciate Kevin for dropping by as well. As for the rest of your comments, we'll see. We'll see if we lose him. He wasn't the same as Emmanuel. So here's what Julian Lewis had to say when it came to the bye week and what he is expecting for Colorado. Okay, here's what he had to say for the bye week.
Definitely. It's a blessing having this off week to sit around. I'm not going home or anything like that. I'm just sit in the facility, watch film, try to grow, get better, try to keep all the receivers back out there so we can keep building that connection and get ready for next year.
Key word there. that I absolutely loved. He wants to stay put for the bye week, not go home. He wants to get in the film room. He wants to work with his receivers and not only prepare for this season and what's going on right now, but to start preparing and creating chemistry for next year. Okay, so for all those people that want to say that Julian Lewis is transferring out, it truly does sound like he's wanting to transfer out, isn't it? I don't think you guys understand when it comes to him, when it comes to Jordan Seaton, what kind of connection they have to this team. On the CU Post today, I saw that they had Hill at right tackle, Chauncey at right guard. Do you think that's just for practice, or are they considering giving him an opportunity because of the injuries? I mean, one, Hill should be a right tackle, okay? He absolutely dominated once he went in at right tackle on Saturday, guys. In the offseason, Hill came in as a right tackle with the idea that everybody was like, oh, he's going to move to guard to be next to Seaton. But I didn't understand that fully, too, when that first started happening because we knew we did not have a right tackle. So putting Hill on the outside helps out with those tackles. And then, yeah, I would love to see Chauncey. I've said it. With these last couple of games, I would love to see the young guys, every young guy we have on this roster, feature a prominent role going forward so that we can see what we have for Colorado going into next year. See where are we going to have to get new players? Where are the spots on this team that we absolutely need to go after the transfer portal players and top transfer portal players if we can? So guard and offensive line is going to be one of those. Trench is going to be one of those. Obviously, DB, linebacker, those are a couple other ones that are going to be very, very important. The question is, can Chauncey Gooden be a starting guard for us next year, or do we need to go out and spend some money at that position? That's going to be the quick question. Welcome in, TMFB. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, he's a real baller. Juju aiming to win and will with that work ethic. Yeah, your mom. I know. That's what I'm saying. I was a little confused why we didn't put him at right tackle. I got it because it's like, okay, let's create a dominant side of the line that we can run behind, but then we never ran behind it. Didn't get that. Appreciate north side as well. Gooden going to be something as long as he works. Agreed. I'll be excited for that. Yeah, Aki, Roy, Harden better never see the field again. They were pretty bad. Give the young DBs a play. Yeah, I would love to see that as well. Well, Juju came around the mountain pretty well Saturday. It didn't equal a win, but I liked what I saw. I did. He definitely was. I got what he was saying, too, when he said that. I was like, okay, when he's ready, he's going to come out. It's going to be soon, that sort of thing, and it definitely happened. And now we can turn the book. We can turn the page. We don't need to worry about Caden Salter anymore. We don't. His time in college football is done. The idea of the Caden Salter, what that's happening is done. I'm glad to move on from that and not have to deal with it. I'm still confused why Juju didn't seal the field week one. Why the long wait? I mean, 5th-year senior. They hoped that Caden Salter could lead them in the Big 12. I mean, to some people out there, Caden Salter is a Heisman-level quarterback and still is to this day. But, it's the coaching that caused him to all of a sudden be terrible. It's the benching that caused him to be terrible. West Virginia Mountaineers coming around the mountain. Here's the thing, guys. You got to realize this, too, that a lot of people online don't seem like that's the one comment I've been seeing all week long that I just don't get. They're all like, Colorado lost to a 3 and whatever team, a 3-win team. One, West Virginia actually has a good defense. The problem is their offense and how they score. 2, we're also a 3-win team heading into that game. We were also not favorited to win that game. We were also on the road. So to all those people that wanted to say that Colorado somehow, a close game, it just shows how terrible Colorado is, and Julian Lewis is terrible. I've seen that comment. Oh, Julian Lewis didn't even lead you to a victory. He's not a good quarterback. He's going to suck. You can tell they obviously didn't watch what's going on. If Yo-Yo and Chauncey are ready and prepared and Johnson stays, we would only be needing a new center. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. finding out if what we have in Yo-Yo, Chauncey, I mean, Yo-Yo graded out the highest out of any offensive lineman in the game on Saturday. If Chauncey can come in and be really good, then guys, I mean, we're looking at, we'll still need depth out of the portal, guys. We will. But you don't need to spend top dollar for, really great players instead of people who just are going to fill in depth roles. Who's next? Coming around the mountain equals the Mountaineers. Ooh, Scott. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. Maybe Prime was saying all along when Julian Lewis was going to start. Salter came in to see you with accuracy. Here's the thing, Yermo. I knew that, but I hope that his running ability would be able to make up for that. I was wrong. He doesn't run either. Salter is still the only quarterback to win a game this year. I get that. We were saying Hill should have played right tackle when C recruited him. Everyone wanted him to play guard. It's true. We're talking 2026 Buffs football in 2025. This is depressing times. I get it, 5280. I do. And another bowl-less season. I do. But you got to deal with what you got to deal with and move forward from here. Unfortunate, but it is where we're at. Can't change what happened. Do people forget that Salter came from Liberty with low completion percentage? This was never a surprise. They should have went with the young man from the jump. Coming around the mountain was this game. Julian's hand was not fully healed, and they were hoping he would be ready by this game. Hope they run more power plays. I'd like to see that. CU's best interest would be to develop what they have in the roster and then get depth pieces. Yes, but we do not have enough guys on the roster to not just get depth pieces. We will have to get some impact players out of the portal. It's just the way it is. Every team gets impact players out of the portal. It's just how many do you need? It depends on where you're at as a team. Portal's depth only next time around unless the starters before CU dominating. I love it, Ruben. Who's Salter? Jackson Roper. Yeah, we finally offered Jackson Roper. I wanted to talk about that here. Finally offered Jackson Roper, which is great to see. Don't know why it took so long. Really wish this had been a lot quicker and more of a priority, but hey, that's where we're at. So yeah, Jackson Roper getting offered by CU this week. One of the big ones that we should get. Him and Reese Russell are two guys that we should absolutely prioritize for the 2027 class. Hey, Alexis, appreciate you dropping by. I mean, Saturday said otherwise. He was a pretty darn good tackle for us when he moved to right tackle. Nobody likes loser one. Colorado better starts to win some. I have no idea what you're saying. Prime needs to realize coaching is a big part. Can't blame the players. No combination blocks with the largest O-line is criminal. But Mari, I think he is, though. His comments say that he is, guys. His comments say that he is blaming all of that, guys. I'm telling you, there are going to be some big changes coming up. The question is, how are they going to go about it? That's my big question. Because literally Prime in his press conference, here's what he said. And I quote, "From here on out, it's about roster management, coaching management, understanding what we're going to do going forward. But I promise you, there's going to be changes. There are going to be changes, guys." So, there you go. We should have gotten the ex-Tennessee quarterback Nico over K-Salt. I think it would have gone so much better. King, if I had it my way, we would have had Darian Mensah. That's who I think Colorado should have gone after. Jackson Roper, he is Colorado a kid, high schooler, 4-star offensive lineman out of Colorado. Father was a legacy buff. Father went to Colorado. I believe his father won the National Offensive Lineman of the Year award at Colorado. So Jackson Roper, pretty important to Colorado. I'm not down on Juju. I see the potential, but trying to throw the ball 47 times in his first start on the road with a patchwork offensive line as the game plan for success. Yeah, we were down. We tried running and we weren't getting anything behind the patchwork offensive line. That's part of the reason that we went 3 and out so many times to start the game. We couldn't get a single yard offensively running the ball. So, yeah, we started passing the ball. He started doing better. We also ran the ball much better in the second half. So, Zach Owens supposed to play next to Seton this year. OMG, we messed up. Seton, Owens, McGill, Chrysler, Hill. Where is, though, Flapjack right now, guys? Oh, yeah, he chased Loadholt to Mississippi State. How many games has he played? Did he even play this year? He didn't even play. Yeah. Guys, Interesting. Yep, Ruben, big changes are coming to the program. They offered in-state prospect coaches learning. Give him the time. I don't know what happened to that, to be honest. I don't know if it's me, but after Salter threw multiple interceptions, every time he would roll out the pocket, I thought an interception was coming, and I'm sure the rest of the team thought that as well. We'll see Northside. They've still got time. He's a 2027 commit. The key to getting the guys is to show them attention. An offer doesn't matter. If you just offer somebody and then never talk to them again, they're not coming here. That's what's happened to the past Colorado recruits. They've decided not to pay attention to them, not to give them any attention. So, of course, that's going to happen. I always thought that the state of Colorado had good high school talent. I think that people have to understand that Prime is growing as a coach as too, so some grace should probably be extended. Well, and we also have the issue with the offseason this year where Prime was out of commission, sick, obviously, for multiple months. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Utah State. Sorry. Got him mixed up with Reese Russell. You're right. Correct. Appreciate you, Brian C. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Yes, we do have a chance if we make him a priority. Yeah, so this is the other news I wanted to talk about today. Kordell Stewart is in the search for a coaching job right now. Not only did he sign with Lil Wayne and looking into the Colorado State Rams job, but he also tweeted out that he's looking for a head coaching job. And Rick George retweeted out said tweet. So we don't know what that looks like just yet. We'll see what happens this offseason, Ruben. We really will. I just don't see Hill going to CSU. I have seen 2 CSU beat reporters say that CSU has no interest in Kordell Stewart whatsoever and that they're looking for a coach with coaching experience. So that's why they're saying that he's not a part of that. Michigan State got slammed by the NCAA, but Michigan State gets a pass. Interesting. Guys, there's multiple cases where you can go look at people getting slammed by the NCAA and Michigan getting a pass. You see what's happening there. You think the guys out of IMG like coming to CU because they can play early? All the IMGs at CU are balling. King John, I think that's a huge part of it, and I think part of the reason that Colorado is so keen on them is that they understand that they can play early. So if they want to play early, they come here. So there's that. Yeah, Deacon and Breck were not a priority for CU. Correct. Correct. They're going to go there if we don't make them a priority. You just answered your own question in the same sentence. That's part of the problem. And actually, Breck didn't come here because of money. Okay? He wanted a specific dollar amount. USC gave it to him. Colorado didn't. Simple as that. Northside, if the coaching staff is changing right now, I could see that changing. We'll see what happens with the actual staff once we go into the offseason here. Did not know he had a desire to coach. Wonder, did Coach Prime assist with that as well? I mean, he very well could. We'll see what happens with that. I'm looking forward to this offseason. I have confidence he'll get it right. I believe CU has the NIL, but not willing to overpay for recruits, especially portal players. That is true as well. This is a maybe because now Jordan Tyson is injured. He's out for this week. We'll see if he returns. Sam Levitt out at home. Julian Lewis 2 weeks to prepare. I like the potential of it. If there's a game to do it, it's going to be Arizona State. I don't think we have any problems. McPherson's definitely not going anywhere. We'll see what happens with Merritt. They have to make him a priority. What are you even talking about? That's your warning, by the way. We don't throw out that word or call anybody names over here. That's your warning. You want to be a part of it. Yeah, it is promise. He's a brand new 18-year-old true freshman quarterback that should still be in high school. Threw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns and a 65% completion rate. I don't know what else you want to say. Against a good West Virginia defense. Their record is bad because their offense has been piss poor. Their defense is actually pretty good. Shows that you don't watch football whatsoever. Yeah, exactly. I don't see how Kordell can just come in and be a starting quarterback right away. What do you do this offseason? It was you. Who would you fire bringing coaches? Obviously, I wouldn't fire the OC because his contract is up. I would just hire a new OC. I would pay whatever money was possible if we could get Jordan Davis out of Texas State or North Texas. Sorry. That would be my offensive coordinator choice. I would keep Robert Livingston. I know people won't love that, but I would keep him one more year just to see what would happen there. I would fire our linebackers coach, our DBs coach for sure. I'd keep Falk. I'd keep the offensive line coach. I'd see who Jordan Davis would want to bring in. I would make some changes in the recruiting room. I'd either add some new recruiting staff or remove the current recruiting staff. And I would make recruiting a little bit more of a priority. I'd want to bring in 20 to 25 guys each year, not 30. It's too many. And I would want to be in the transfer portal about 20 to 25 guys, with about 10 of those being guys that I expect to start. Mainly in my trenches. So that's what I would do if I had it perfect. If I had it perfect. We are early on Roper compared to Seton and other big recruits, but it's not too late. Correct, Crash. We don't offer that, a year early this often. Kordell has not coached before. There you go, Joe. He said it on my show. He said that money-wise, it was a no-brainer to go with USC. And if he said on the show it was double, then what do you expect? You expect Breck to take half to come to Colorado, or do you take him to take double the offering to go to USC? It's USC's money if they want to do it. But it is USC. It's not like it was some random team. It wasn't like CSU offered Breck double to go there and not succeed. He can be successful at USC because it's USC. You can't complain about CU not matching the money. I'm not. It is what it is. What I complain about is CU not even attempting or showing any attention to some of the in-state guys, not including Breck. Breck, I don't care about at this point. If it was a money thing, then it was a money thing. There's nothing you can do about that. But when we're told that the other guys in the state, the reason they're not coming to Colorado is because Colorado literally just did not make them a priority whatsoever, that's a little bit different. Little bit different. Okay, and you're in timeout for spamming the chat. Yeah, some schools do, and they're going to put a lot of money for players that may not be worth it. I'm not saying Breck isn't worth it. I'm just saying he has a lot to live up to when he has that much money going towards him. Your mom, I would agree with that. I'm more talking about how ASU's offense will be a little bit down. That might help us, and the fact that we're going to have 2 weeks to prepare for them offensively as far as going against their defense. That's the only reason I'm a little bit high on it. For West Virginia to have more Colorado kids on its roster is damn shame. That's a huge problem. Correct, that is. What gives Julian the it factor as a quarterback? Did he look better or worse than you expected him to be this year? Honest question. John, I think he looked what I thought he would be. Okay? What I love and what a lot of people are not taking into account is the fact that the kid should still be in high school and looked as confident as he did in Saturday's game. On the road, at West Virginia, not an easy place to go play at. I don't care what anybody says about the record. It's not an easy place to play at. First start of your college career. You should be starting a high school football game rather than a college game. And again, just watching his confidence, his footwork, the ability to read the play, that was huge. You saw even with him being under pressure as bad as he was, Julian Lewis was able to make some quick throws, which again, if you have quick throws, one of two things happened, okay? Either the right play call was made at the time, which I don't know if we want to say that because the week before Bartolone called it and Salter wasn't making the right reads. So what my assumption would be is that Julian Lewis was able to read the defense and figure out, okay, rather than I'm just going to focus in on this guy, he was able to read, okay, well, this guy has single coverage. I'm going to look at him as soon as I snap the ball and see what happens, and then I'm going to move to this and move to this. He did that throughout that game and made some great throws. That is why I say he has it. And he only has more time to figure things out, to learn, to get used to the speed of the college game compared to the high school game. All of those things scream it factor when it comes to Julian Lewis. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, that's where it's at. Correct, he is, but he's not the same age as Julian Lewis. He wasn't an early enrollee. He didn't leave high school a year earlier. So when you say true freshman, there are two types of true freshmen. There's a true freshman in the sense that, yes, he's supposed to be in college and he's a true freshman and he's playing. And then there's the I'm supposed to be in high school and I'm starting as a true freshman. Big difference. Well, he's already making a lot, great one. Just so you know, he's already making a lot. New OC O-line coach. I don't know about the O-line coach. I mean, the O-line has drastically improved this year. I want Tom Herman as OC. Prime should at least make the call. That would be an interesting one. If Rick George is smart, he makes Kordell the QB coach with whoever they hire for the position. I would make him a QB coach. I said it online. If he's willing, I would say QB coach. That's not going to hurt anything having an ex-player do that. It'd be interesting. Put a percentage on the staff that needs to go. 40%, 50%, 40 to 50%, I would say. The question is, we need a quarterback coach. I don't care what anybody says. If not, should we blame Dion for not developing? Honest question. I mean, those guys have played more games. Maybe if we were starting Julian Lewis since the beginning of the season, I could say that they're definitely better than Juju's definitely better than them. I can't say that just yet. I could say he has promise and upside compared to those guys. I absolutely can. But we only have one game sample size. It's hard to say. What up, buddy? Appreciate you dropping by as always. We'll see. We'll see where we end up. Oh, I would take that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. If he's done at Clemson, you throw all the money you can at him to be an OC. I do that. Yeah, I temp banned him. But he doesn't come back, that's fine. Julian Lewis for 302 touchdowns, no interceptions, despite him missing half his starting, not playing, and people still calling him bad for losing. Trust me, Alex. I pull my hair out. Prime is the right deal when it comes to high school recruits, but only getting high school recruits that can make an immediate impact, but we need at least 20 of those type of players. I would agree with that. We have to pay well off in the pregame. We don't have money to double and match the money. We don't have to pay either of them. 5280. Do you know how much they make off of YouTube? They're not getting paid by Coach Prime to be there. Just saying. Correct. That one I'm not happy about. Mizzou, Georgia, Ole Miss, Oregon are offering JUCO players. I haven't seen an offer go out to JUCO. Northside, technically we did. Remember, we got Pecco's kid from JUCO. We already got a commit from JUCO. So there is that. Donovan, why does in-state matter? I'll tell you why in-state matters. And it happens for every school out there. Because in-state is a low resource. Does that make sense? You don't have to spend money to go on the road, okay? You don't have to spend that much time, okay? Because if you're going to Georgia, if you're going to Florida, if you're going to Texas, you got to travel there. That's time. You got to spend money to go there. That's also part of that resources. It does not take much if you're the recruiting staff to just hop on the highway, take an hour out of your day to go say hello to a recruit an hour away from your school. So that's why in-state matters to any program out there. They're always the easy gets when it comes to recruiting, and should be the easy gets. They help you build depth. The in-state guys can help you create multiple years worth of depth. That's the problem CU is running into right now, is because we've gone so portal heavy all of these years, is we're having to go portal heavy every year because we don't have depth that are developing that can fill out all of our starting roles. We're slowly getting there because some of the high school guys are developing right now, but they're still freshmen and sophomores. We need some juniors and seniors, especially when it comes to trenches. And the fact that Colorado has a wealth of trench players, that's where we should be dipping into that. Had we done that from Prime's first year, we would have a couple Colorado guys that are ready to start next year, that are easy starters on this team next year. That's not good. That's not good. What's the truth on Hill Green? We have some clown on Twitter saying Hill Green was told CU didn't want by the coaching staff. Other sources saying that money was the issue as well. Joe, the only thing I've seen is I've seen a booster confirm that it was not because the team did not want him. That's all I'll tell you. That's all I have. So was it money? It very well could have. It could have been money. He might have said he wanted a big raise. Otherwise, he'd hit the portal, and maybe the team wasn't willing to offer that. I don't know. Everything is rumors. Until Nikai Hill-Green comes out and says what happened, we won't truly know without speculation. The only thing I can give you is that people attached to the program have said it was not because CU didn't want him. It wasn't because CU told him to kick rocks and get out. Wild if the kids are actually legit, but Colorado football talent isn't really a thing. You'd be surprised. We'll see what happens. I'm watching what he's saying. Okay. Just FYI. Was out of town, missed it entirely. Sounds like Juju looked good though. But you got to go watch the replay of that game. Started off really bad. I thought it was going to be a really bad game. We lost Seton before the game even started. So that didn't help. We were moving around the offensive line pieces until finally it all of a sudden clicked in. And that's when Juju started just going off. Okay. Correct, your mom. That is correct. See, at least you can see that. Out of everybody, the fact that you can see that shows me that the other people who are saying that Julian Lewis is nothing special are trolls. Can they eventually do? There is a number of Colorado kids starting at these schools. They won't play right away. That's true. You know, Brett Collegier probably will not start day one. Now, if he came to Colorado, does he have a chance to start day one? Yes, he absolutely does. Correct. Juju should have started from the start. Yes, I would agree with that too. I have seen it a lot. Colorado kids go elsewhere and do nothing. I could give you a list of those guys. I'd have to go look them up. But there are Colorado guys that are absolutely doing stuff elsewhere. So anybody that wants to say Colorado doesn't have talent, you need to go look, because there are a number of Colorado players on Power 4 teams starting. There are a number of Colorado kids that started on Power 4 teams that are in the NFL now as well. We need in-state trenches, transfer portal trenches, and Pecco transfers. I would agree with that. Great one. That's a good comment. That's a good comment. Not most. I'd say the no star players, the ones that, Power 4 teams don't want, yeah, they might go to Wyoming. But trust me, that's not true about Colorado kids. I always laugh when people say that quarterbacks can't come from, the couple of schools in the country when Josh Allen's there. Patrick Mahomes is there. If anything, quarterbacks who don't go to the Power 4 and succeed, or not the Power 4, but like the top teams in the country, the teams that you would think, they end up succeeding a lot more, you think. Okay. I'll find you. Best Colorado. I'll get you some. We'll get you some. I'll find it for you, but there are plenty. The problem is that offensive linemen aren't going to get the same recognition of a skill player. So Cam, again, you're going based off a skill player. One good Colorado player lately, not named McCaffrey, because McCaffrey was a running back and did so well. But offensive line doesn't matter. You're not going to hear about offensive line. There you go. Ooh, there you go. Trey McBride is another good one. He's doing pretty good. Not a lot of skilled position Colorado kids, Cam. A lot more. I gotta, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to do the research and show you, but it's just because they're in positions that don't get the recognition. Torrey Davis is a legacy buff that's 10 minutes from CU. He's an athlete. I know. There is a 4-star safety that is literally 10 minutes away from Colorado's campus. All these transfer portal seniors, not sustainable. Some of it's money, plain and simple, Mitchell. Some of it's money. Yes, Juju will be back. He literally... Okay. Let's play the tape again.
It's a blessing having this off week to sit around. I'm not going home or anything like that. I'm just sit in the facility, watch film, try to grow, get better, try to keep all the receivers back out there so we can keep building that connection and get ready for next year.
Get ready for next year. Get ready for next year. Get ready for next year, says Julian Lewis. Getting ready for next year. Gosh, I didn't realize how many comments. There you go, E-Todd. Absolutely, he is. He is everything. He is our future. He is everything. Appreciate you dropping by, E-Todd, as always. What make a Colorado State kid not good? I'd like to know that too. Cam, the top kids in every state are worried about money being offered. Did who? I already put you in timeout. Do I need to do it again? Say that for last year? Say what for last year? G5 schools, Walker can go to just like the Western brother. Wester. He might have to. He might have to if he doesn't think, but he might think. I mean, a lot of people thought Brandon Davis Swain was going to leave, and he stuck around even after not playing or doing anything last year. He's had ups and downs this year, but it's his first year actually playing. I think he's doing pretty well. I think he can develop. This is literally redshirted last year. He's got 4 years of eligibility, and he's already looking pretty good on the defensive line. If they want an idea on what the NFL is like, then yeah. Oh, let's see. Pecco's son did not commit yet. His other son did not commit just yet. With that, you rather have a dual threat or pocket passer. But Mantra's not power force size. Colton taking his place. Joe, I don't think he is. CU literally got whooped, get whooped by BYU and Utah, Arizona State. They have more in-state kids on the team than most in the Big 12. I don't get it with freshman players who don't have game tape leaving after a year. It doesn't make sense. That's the fact. Any freshman that is out of school should not leave if they don't have tape. Yeah, Alex, last year was his first year, freshman year, and he redshirted. So he's got 4 years of eligibility left. See, King John, I think BDS is a perfect example for Mantrez. BDS put on a crap ton of weight and changed his position. And look what he's doing. You know? So I would agree. Mantrez's big thing, he's got to get bigger to be a linebacker. And I think he can do it. And I hope that that's what he's been doing this year. I mean, we didn't even hear from BDS last year. We haven't heard from Mantrez this year. It very well could be the same thing. I heard a lot of people saying that that BDS was gone. Heck, I even thought that BDS was gone because we didn't hear from him at all. And I thought, oh, here's a freshman that didn't play at all. He's probably gone. We can't think like that. And those kids can't think like that, if we're being honest. So that's the same thing. If Antonio Branch leaves, I hope he doesn't. I really do. I hope that he sticks around because I think he does have a future here. I just think that part of it was some injuries early on, and part of it was then having to redshirt. I hope that they redshirt him because he's staying, but we'll see. If Mantrez gets some size, he'll be straight. Exactly. But he needs to get that. Mantrez has been playing special teams. I forgot. He's just been quiet on that. He has. Correct. BDS did come in undersized, and he put on a ton of weight. The heart hate. I mean, I think he is, but we'll see. We'll see. Until it's officially announced, we won't have for sure. Okay, guys, really quickly, I'm going to get our sponsorship out of the way, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines for you guys if you want to call in. But as always, Taco Bell is our sponsor this week. Fantastic sponsorship all season long. The Buff Box has been an absolute tremendous success for them. My local Taco Bells are all sold out of the boxes themselves. The cups are still available. Of course, you want to get yourself your Julian Lewis Cup, the future of Colorado, what he's been able to do already. Absolutely fantastic. Get your Julian Lewis box at all Colorado, or Julian Lewis Cup at all Colorado locations today still. And that's what's going on there. Appreciate them for being a partner. They just donated $500,000 last week to the Crawford Scholarship Athletic Foundation. Unbelievable stuff that they do, and absolutely appreciate everything that they've done for us this year. Make sure you go to your local Taco Bell, support Taco Bell for how they're supporting CU athletics. And we appreciate the partnership this year for Taco Bell. Liv Moss, Sco Buffs, go get your Buff Box if you can. While you can, go get your collectible cups while you can, and still can here at the end of the season. Appreciate Taco Bell and everything that they're doing. This comment, you're not wrong. I think Boo Carter's definitely gone from Tennessee, by the way, guys. Question is whether or not Colorado will be interested in bringing him in or not. I know his family wants him to come to Colorado. That could be a good get in the portal at this point because I think he could eventually pan out. I mean, the flashes that he's shown at Tennessee, it's just whatever is going on with him at Tennessee is just going on there. King John, I could see that. I mean, Gage has been here, 2 years now as a walk-on. I mean, they can afford going to school here, but I could easily see Gage going to another school and getting play time at a smaller school if that's what he's want. Yeah, Byard and Branch next year would be unbelievable. Byard and Branch next year would be unbelievable. Chauncey Gooden, Cardi Smith, do they stay? I mean, Chauncey Gooden's probably starting this week, so we'll see. Cardi, I don't know. Both of them have had some issues. Future of the D-line is in good hands with Alex, London, and BDS. Yes, we have a good foundation, guys. We have a good foundation. Boo Carter could be useful. I mean, you're always going to have that happen. I mean, people said that about Cormani when he left. I mean, Boo's still young. He may just need a change of scenery to figure things out. Maybe Prime can turn that around with him. Maybe. Well, I could see that. We'll see what happens these last couple games. I want to see how improved it is with Slaughter there. But Byard was a big get for Colorado. Will be a foundation going forward, and big part of this team going forward. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead against my better judgment. We'll see, but here you go. The hotline is open. Feel free to call in if you want to talk to us and talk to the Buffs. And we will take phone calls. Hold on. Now. Do not disturb is off. I think it was size was a bit of an issue. I think it was being in shape at one point. They talked about that early on. Chauncey had a little bit of issue with that. So we got our first caller. We'll go ahead and take that now. Thanks for calling Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Mark. I'm calling from Massachusetts.
Hey, Mark. How's it going?
Oh, it's going well.
Good. What do you have to say about what's happening right now with the game last Saturday and moving forward?
So my biggest problem is that I think that them investing so much in a lot of transfer portal misses. It's what bothers me about the future of this team. I feel like you have to go into the high school recruiting. Like if you look at all the other top programs in the country, they're heavily invested in high school recruiting. But I feel like Coach Prime sometimes can be very stubborn and stuck in his ways. And it seems like he's more interested in getting a quick fix rather than actually growing and developing for the future. Because a lot of the moves he makes, because if you go back to like when he first came, he's always, oh, we want to win now. We want to win now. It's like, yeah, you winning now is important, but you still got to build for the future. And I fear that they're going to fall in love with the portal again and overlook high school recruiting and just make it like a second option. And like this year, my biggest disappointment is Jaheim Otis.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like there was so much red flags, but for whatever reason, Colorado was still they overlooked everything. Like if Jaheim Otis was the real deal, Alabama would have never got rid of him. I don't understand Colorado's obsession with other teams' throwaways. Like, I just don't understand that. So that's pretty much my take, is that I fear that they're going to fall in love with the transfer portal again, and it's going to be the same crap, and they're going to overlook high school recruiting. It's just going to be a second option. So that's my opinion. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we're already late in the cycle. I mean, we're probably going to get a bunch more high school recruits, but I don't think we're going to get enough to necessarily change the script from what you're, frustrated with and upset with, which you have every right to be. And you're right to an extent, absolutely, especially with the part that you said that we missed on way too many transfer players this year. And spending that as much money as we did on Jaheim Otis was definitely a waste of money, resources, time, and a roster spot at this point. I'm hoping that CU learns from that. I'm hoping Coach Prime learns from that a little bit going into this transfer portal and high school recruiting season. We have 12 high school recruits right now for 2026, which, by the way, to anybody listening, is more than we've had at this point in the year than in the past. So last 2 years, we did not have 12 commits at this point. They go heavy right at the end. You get a bunch at signing day. The question is, how many are they going to get? I would love us to hit at 20 at minimum. So I would love us to get 8 more. I have a feeling we might lose 1 or 2 more. So, I mean, we're probably looking at 10.
I fear that we might lose like half, because especially with the way the record is, it seems like people might end up flipping. Like, I'm really scared we might lose that linebacker kid. I forget his name, Rodney something. And I feel like we might lose Gavin Mueller. That kid is so good. He might end up being a 5-star at this point. Gavin Mueller is unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like, I fear, because we don't even use our tight ends. It's embarrassing. It's like we're one of the few programs in the country that acts as if tight ends don't exist. We use tight ends we don't even use tight ends sometimes. We just put in Yaya in there to play like a blocking tight end. It's like, what is the point of having a tight end if you're not going to use the tight end, especially in goal line situations? It's so frustrating watching how hopefully with what's his name, Brett calling plays now, because Atkins had 5 catches last game.
Yep.
I think, or the game before that. That was the most catches any tight end has had all year, which is embarrassing. So I feel if I was a top tight end recruit in the country, no offense, but why should I be confident coming here and trusting that my skills will be displayed? And especially if I'm trying to take my talents to the next level, I will be fearful to come to a team like Colorado because they don't utilize the tight end. So that's why I feel like we might lose Gavin Mueller, which will be sad because that kid is nasty. He's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gavin Mueller is the only one that I'm worried about losing. Rodney Colton Jr., the linebacker, he's actually coming to Colorado this weekend. He's been posting on his social medias how excited he is. He's been watching Julian Lewis play. I think that Julian Lewis and how he played last weekend helps massively in retaining the current class because it shows where this team is potentially heading. Record be damned. Record be damned. That record was, Caden Salter's record, 5th-year senior record. It's what happened there. But Julian Lewis has that promise. A lot of these kids want to play with Julian Lewis and are going to want to play. And the other part that I think they're going to love is who's being featured the most right now and succeeding on this roster. It's all the young kids on this team, all the kids that are coming back next year.
Yep, and that's the thing, Coach Prime, that I don't understand. Your best players on the team are all the high school recruits, so I don't understand why he doesn't lean on that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm not trying to put the heavy blame on Caden Salter, but I feel like Caden Salter is the primary reason why this whole season was a huge collapse because they missed on that immensely. They just, I don't understand how the recruiting staff, I understand because I remember the video that Bucky made where he was talking about Julian crying in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you finish the whole video, he talks about how, his dad was sick and a lot of things were done that weren't supposed to be done and they're going to fix it.
Yep.
So I feel like Bucky is biting his tongue, but you can tell that he knows the nonsense that happened. So they're not trying to put anybody on blast, but I think with Prime being gone and the recruiting, I think Prime puts too much trust on. They were just signing a whole bunch of random transfers, and oh man, I fear that if we lose these last 2 games, a lot of high school kids are just gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna take my talents here.
I think it depends on how the games look.
Yeah.
Could we lose both games and not lose a bunch of players? Absolutely. If Julian continues what he's doing, I mean, if he goes 302 touchdowns every game with no picks, I think a lot of the players say, you know what, screw it. I'm going to come and make a difference. I'm going to come and change the narrative. And a lot of the high school players, trust me, they've been saying the right things. I've messaged a few of them, talked to them through messages. I think there's a bunch that are still locked in. Like I said, the only one I'm a little worried about is Gavin Mueller, just because, again, he's come on so hot. I do think he eventually gets his 5th star. I think the top teams in the country are going to try and go for him hard, and I just haven't heard much from him. That part worries me. That part, is the issue, which is why I said, it wouldn't surprise me if he flips. But
and last thing,
yeah, go ahead.
Thing I'll say, this is a fun fact, and it's actually kind of embarrassing. Julian Lewis had 22 completions. Caden Salter all year long, I think the most completions he had in one game was 19. Do you know how embarrassing that is?
Oh, there's a lot of stats we could throw out there about the passing game compared to Julian Lewis, and just, the yardage too, that he got, and how many games it took, Caden Salter to get to that point, and, all of that. It was embarrassing.
Yeah. And also, if you notice something, maybe I'm analyzing a little too much, but Caden Salter, whenever they show him lately, he has the shiesty on. He's covering his face. It's as if he hasn't had that on ever. Ever since Juju's been started, he's been covering his face or hiding or something. Who knows? Yeah. I just feel bad for that kid because he ruined our whole season, and now he ruined his own career because hopefully he knows how to sell cars, because the NFL is not going to happen.
I mean, the only thing that's going to be good is he got a pretty decent bag to come to Colorado. So he's going to have some money out of this, not NFL money, but he walked away with a decent amount of money. That's for sure. Okay.
Yeah, it was a robbery.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate the call. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, appreciate you calling in.
Love the show. Thank you.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh, we got another call already. Give me a second. Okay, they hung up. Call back, whoever it was. Yeah, I mean, that was the most active that we've seen Atkins. I mean, I think he was targeted a bunch in that game, had a few catches. He very well could have been. Very well could have been. There we go. Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Russ, it's Jordy again.
Hey, Jordy. If you don't mind turning the volume down behind you, and then you're good to go.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Into the YouTube on my computer.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, Jordy, what do you have to say about this past weekend?
Yeah, man, it's been good. I've been actually excited. The first time I've come back from a game and been like, hey, this is a quarterback.
Yeah.
And you can actually tell from every single player on the field that they felt that. But it came too late. I think Prime knew about this since early on, but he didn't want to mess with Salter's mindset and also his opportunity to play in the NFL. That's why Julian came to Big 12 Day. That's why he kept talking about how, hey, Julian's competing with a fifth-year senior. That should never be the case for any fifth-year senior. That a 17-year-old quarterback is competing with you and has command of the room.
I mean, you go back to the offseason. I mean, we brought Juju to media day. It was a that's not a good sign if a 17-year-old is competing with a fifth-year senior that closely.
I'm not sure if you saw Omari's little press conference today. Where he almost laughed about the difference in the offense.
Yeah.
And you can kind of say maybe it's Brett, but it's really Julian. Julian is the biggest difference. The scheme is the same. The plays they ran were exactly the same. You never saw Omarion throwing his hands up about not getting the ball or about a bad ball. But every game that Caden played, I saw frustration in Omarion's face. And you can blame Caden for the receiver's lack of blocking, lack of care, because you're not getting touches or good touches.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can only imagine. And we've seen it. I mean, we've watched the tape during Salter's reign. I mean, he's missing wide open guys down the field, never wanted to throw the ball, it seemed like, and push it down the field. Which again is the reason why, when Staub came in the Delaware game and started throwing it down the field, there was success. It doesn't take that much to do that if you actually just do it. But for whatever reason, Salter wouldn't do it. And you're right, in the press conference, I mean, talking about the deep balls now and just seeing Omarion's reaction to that tells you everything. But you also saw it from players throughout the season. They were all talking about it without talking about it. When people would ask about leadership and talk about who the alphas on this team, we didn't have anybody, and that should be your quarterback first and foremost. And everybody was, fine with calling it out without saying his name, but it should have been a bigger deal. That's for sure.
They were just trying to protect him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from Atlanta, and Julian's soft-spoken. I went to school with London Merritt when he was at Woodward before he went to IMG.
Yeah.
And these dudes are leaders. People want to come play with them. I think even if you lose the last two games of the season, but you're playing all of your leaders that are freshmen and sophomores, Gavin Mueller, and the other commits will be like, hey, I can have an impact here.
Yep,
And
exactly.
I honestly think Matt's been getting across to maybe Coach Prime. Even though they offered Roper late, I think that Coach Prime is realizing that, hey, the people I have around me aren't building what I need. And I have people that are calling me that want to help.
I think that's been the big, I mean, we're, like the last caller talked about too with, the video, and Bucky saying how, with Prime being sick, they let some things go, some things happen that shouldn't have happened. Hearing that, I think there's going to be some big changes. I think he's realizing that he made mistakes. I think he's realizing that, there's some other stuff that he can be doing. I know that not a lot of people like Matt and like his opinions and the way he says things and the way that he pushes things. I get that. But I do believe that, I do think there are going to be changes coming. So I do appreciate that, you pointing that out, Jordy. I think that's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's really hard for me to listen to DMVR, but today they talked about Cornerstones.
Yep.
And the players that they list. I vehemently agree with that. You have to offer those players, like Omarion, he should stay. He's a freak of an athlete.
Yep.
Jordan Seaton, JoJo Williams. I mean, also, not sure if you noticed, but Omarion's agent last night became JoJo's agent.
Okay. I didn't see that.
So I can definitely. Yeah, it happened last night. I can see both of those receivers staying.
Oh, I think
performance.
I think after Saturday both want to, and I think both are like I've talked to somebody. I talked to a person I know that's a scout for the NFL, and he said that with Omarion's season that he's having, he could be like a very end of the draft / undrafted receiver, but he'd still probably get an invite to a camp as of right now. I think that if I'm Omarion, I stay for another year because of what I'm seeing from Julian Lewis. Okay, that game that I just had with Julian Lewis as my quarterback, if I have that game every week next year, I'm going to be one of the top receivers in the country. And I'm going to have a chance to be a first-round draft pick with Julian Lewis as my quarterback. And that proved it. That was the proving game. And same with any other player that wants to come here. They can see that and say, okay, Julian Lewis can get me the ball. I'm going to try and do this because I think I can do that and get that attention.
Yeah, man. Also, when I look at the development, you have to look at players like BDS and Yaya and say, wow, like Yaya did not play football. And now he actually is getting recognition from the Big 12. And that's something that really should go to, honestly, Gunner, Hegg, and Gerard. Like, they really put in work with him.
Yeah.
For him to be as versatile as he is.
No, I mean, people aren't giving him the credit, but there is some credit to be seen there. Like, BDS is not perfect. I know he's not perfect. He's had some rough moments this season, but it's literally his first year of actually playing after redshirting last year. He put on a ton of weight. He did some amazing stuff. That positions too. Yeah, it changed positions from an edge to an inside, and look at what he's doing. Imagine what he's going to do in a year or two as he grows into that role. Same with Yo-Yo, like what he does in the offensive line. Like, he's looking pretty good for a guy that's only been playing football for like 3 years. So he's going to do that as well. And we've got to give the development credit because nobody is giving. I mean, everybody says that, this staff can't develop players. And yet we do have some examples of that. I know that people, want to say that they're not. We do have some examples of it. So that part is good to me. So
yeah, really good to me.
I like seeing that. I'm excited for where we're going. I appreciate, Jordy, all the comments. Appreciate the call. Remind me, you haven't won our fan take of the week yet, right?
Oh, not yet, man.
Okay. Well, I definitely want to give it to you, especially for your support of the team, for the channel. email me and I'll email me some of your info, and I will get a shirt out to you from our sponsors.
All right. What's the email? Is it in the description?
Yeah, it's if you just go to the home channel of the YouTube channel at the top, if you like expand some of the details, it'll give you it, but it's buffsnewsweekly@gmail.com.
Gotcha, man.
Okay. I appreciate you, Jordy. Thank you so much for calling in.
Peace.
Okay, bye. Really quickly, I gotta whoever's calling, give me a second. I gotta get to the super chats because holy crud. Coach Barry, players will get offered Brinks bag, Arden Walker, Marion, Tafiq, small bags, DJ, Joseph, Sincere, Brandon Davis, Swain, a few others. By the way, Sincere is out of eligibility, so I don't think he will. But I get what you're saying, Coach Barry. I do. I think a lot of them stick around though. I do. I think a lot of them could stick around. And then this is huge. Clay, you didn't have to do this, bud. I appreciate you a ton. Yo, Russ, prior to Coach Prime, how many of Matt's guys played for CU? It seems to me if all his guys were dogs, the pipeline would have been there already. If the answer is none, then why not? And did he have the same energy for prior coach that a guy? Okay, Clay. I love the question. I do. Because I've gotten this question multiple times from people who are like, if they're so great, why weren't they going to CU before? A couple of different reasons. One, there were a lot of his guys going to CU. There were. The problem was the top guys were not. And that was because he wasn't sending them to CU because CU was a mess. Okay? Under Mel Tucker, CU was a mess. And that was part of the reason that wasn't happening. Okay? So CU was not a place that these guys could go. And so when you looked at Mel Tucker-led CU, or even before that, CU, versus, going to Bama, Michigan. By the way, Colorado had several guys on the Michigan national championship team that were Matt's guys before Coach Prime showed up when Michigan was really going with Harbaugh. So I appreciate the question. I do love it. There was a reason. Matt likes Coach Prime. Matt likes what Coach Prime is bringing. Okay, there's a lot of things to be said about why the program is in a better spot than it was prior to Coach Prime. We've changed the transfer rules to get more competitive. The NIL has increased dramatically. There was absolutely no money at Colorado too, so that's part of it too. The top guys are not going to come to Colorado if there's no money whatsoever to be had. That's just the fact. So there's that as well when it comes to it. Clay, I appreciate you unbelievably for the $50. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Really, really do appreciate that. Hopefully that makes sense from you guys. Coach Barry, again, I like the offensive coordinator play calling now. Huge difference from Pat's. Glad it's not Pat no more. It's better. I still think we need an actual OC. I don't think Brett's the long-term solution there, but it's better. Matt had a lot of guys at CU when they were sorry. He did have a lot of guys at CU when he was sorry. Matt and Prime of the understanding if they wouldn't have D'Souza kid. Yep. That's an interesting one. I mean, Swayze's only been here a year. I thought he did a decent enough job. Okay, I'll turn back on the call line. Sorry. I had to get to the super chats, guys. Oh, I love it. I would love him back at receiver coach, though. He is a good recruiter. I have to go look. Because, again, they're not positions that you just have in the top of your head. I'll get you guys it for next time. Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Russ. This is Rob from Texas.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, what do you have to say about everything that's going on right now?
Well, first of all, Coach Prime is setting a bad precedent. And there's a reason why. Now, Coach Prime does have a little bit of coaching experience that he brought from Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
However, when it comes to his two Hall of Famers, Warren Sapp and Marshall Falk, how much coaching experience do either of those two players have?
Correct.
How much?
They don't. They don't from prior. I mean, it's their first
Okay.
coaching job.
So the way I figure it, they can make up for the lack of experience by knocking on some doors
True.
and getting us some premier recruits.
True.
Unfortunately, because they do see that Coach Prime refuses to knock on doors, they figure they got a hall pass. And they'll do the same. They'll follow Coach Prime's footsteps and not bring in any recruits.
Yeah, and you want to know what? I wonder if that's going to be part of the changes that are going to happen this offseason. I truly do think that.
Because the thing is that Marshall Falk and Warren Sapp could be premier coaches by bringing in some 5-stars or 4-star recruits. They can do that, and that would absolutely help out Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. But they're not doing so.
No, I get it, but we'll see. Because again, remember, I mean, we'll see if the changes happen. You're not going to make that many visits in person during the season. I'll give a pass at minimum to Falk just because of when he came in to the program. But I want to see a change, and I hope to see him in somebody's living room this offseason. Otherwise, I do hope that they move on from him if he's not willing to do that. I would agree with you on that. Absolutely.
Now, let me give you another point. Pecco should actually have a string of Samoans knocking on some doors and creating a litany of Samoan players in Colorado. But that's not happening. He only has one of his sons, not both. And who else? What other Samoan has he brought in?
Yeah, I mean, he had a bunch of guys on a visit, and none of them committed. None of them have ended up at CU. I mean, we have to technically wait until signing day because nothing's in stone until signing day. See if they can flip some kids, see if they can do something. But once that signing day dust settles and we haven't gotten anything to show for Pecco being on the staff, I would agree with that as well. I mean, he needs to. He did take a visit to California during the bye week last time, but most likely it was probably just to go home. And while he was there, he happened to do some recruiting. We'll see. But again, I'm very interested to see what happens with signing day when it comes to that. I would agree. And if nothing happens come signing day, then yeah, those guys should be on notice that they are not solidifying their job.
And then let me make one last point, and then I'll let you go.
Yep.
My last point is this. How many rushing yards did Juju have this last game?
Him personally?
Well,
negative because they include sacks.
Well, okay, so how many negative yards did he have?
Oh, I don't remember off the top of my head now. I think it was like negative 34 last time I checked.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking is because Juju is not a dual threat quarterback. And without the sacks, I'm more than sure he had more rushing yards than Salter.
I wouldn't be surprised. You're not far off. Yeah, negative 39 was what he ended up at. But again, 8 sacks. That's going to eat up most of that yard. So negative 40 on 8 sacks, that's pretty good. That means he did rush pretty well. Draylon Miller had 42 yards and a 4.2 average. Dallin Hayden had 34 yards, 3.4 average, 20 rushes to 35 passing attempts that they had during that game. Not bad.
Now, Russ, let me just finish my point.
Yeah.
The thing is that when it comes to Salter, the recruiting staff were responsible for bringing him in. Now, CU has a premier wide receiving core. Why do we need a dual threat quarterback? We need a passing quarterback.
That was a big mistake. That was a big mistake. You're right.
Well, the thing is, that mistake cost us our season.
Yeah. Well,
that mistake cost us going to a bowl game.
Yep. You're right.
And if Coach Prime didn't have a contract that could have cost him his career.
I think, I mean, to be honest with you, from every sound that we're hearing out of this team the last week or so, the last 2 weeks, again, I do think big changes are about to happen. And I think a lot of that has to do with exactly what you're saying here. A lot of people failed Coach Prime. Again, I give him the pass simply because of, how long he was out, but you have to be able to trust your staff when you're out.
The thing is, we all love Coach Prime,
Mm-hmm.
and we all want Coach Prime to succeed. But the reality is, if Coach Prime didn't have a contract, would he have kept his job? I don't know.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think he would have because of the circumstances and what happened. I still think he would have. I don't think he'd be one of the guys.
A lot of coaches assumed the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of coaches are out of a job.
Yeah. I just
so the recruiting staff, at least one of them, needs to be held accountable.
Yep. Agreed. And I hope there's a change there. I do. I think you're absolutely right.
Before I let you go, you're doing a wonderful job.
Yep.
Especially when you hook it up with the guy from San Antonio.
Yep, David. Yep.
David talks Buffs. You guys are a real excellent tandem. And one thing that I really love about your show is that you have a lot of inside information, and we love it. We appreciate it.
I do. I appreciate that. I appreciate that comment, and it always, I do this for fun, and I enjoy what I do, and I love hearing that other people enjoy it too. So
we appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Appreciate for the call. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, bye. And another one.
Savannah, Georgia, +1 912.
Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from? I do this for fun. Are you there?
Hey, Russ, it's Lexus.
Hey, Lexus. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What do you have to say about what's going on right now?
Okay, I'm going to be really quick. First of all, I want to say, regarding recruiting and going to the kids' homes, I agree. If it's not Coach Prime, somebody on that coaching staff should be doing it. And I think about Warren Sapp, and I'm thinking, didn't he play in Florida? Doesn't he have connections there?
Yep.
I mean, why isn't he going to Florida with his name and looking after kids in that area? I would think that would be a good ground for them to search for high schoolers, or even people that may go to the portal, etc. So I'm not sure if he's doing his full job as far as taking care of things like that. We can't put it all on the head coach. Everybody's getting a check. This is not a charity for these other coaches either. They're getting paid. So why are they doing some of that stuff as well, especially since we do have a head coach? Like I said, I give some grace as you do, Russ, with Coach Prime having the illness thing.
Yep.
And we say it so lightly. I mean, it's cancer, for goodness sake. It was, blood clots, for goodness sake. This was serious stuff. So, you got to show some grace there, but then wasn't nothing wrong with all these other community healthy gold jacket carrying coaches. Why weren't they doing some of this recruiting? All these big names and that kids would love to listen to, go somewhere and talk. And let the kids listen to you and have a desire to come play for you as a result.
No, I would agree with that.
And then I want to say really quickly about Matt. I don't have a problem with Matt. I was listening to Matt's show. The only problem I have with Matt is hard to listen to him because he cussed every other word. I think his first word came out of his mouth was MF instead of mom and daddy.
Yeah.
And it makes it difficult for me to just get an understanding of where the man is coming from. It's not to say he's wrong. Matter of fact, he's right a lot. But it just makes it difficult for me. I just can't listen to nobody and every other word is a cuss word. I was just told that if every other word got to be a cuss word, you ignorant. And so I can't listen to people like that. So
Yep.
that's the turnoff for me with him, more so than his knowledge of the game or whatever he's doing for these kids. Respect all of that.
Yep.
And then lastly, Clay Farmer. I don't know if you have an extra T-shirt, but you need to send him one for that $50. And more importantly, that statement. That was exactly what I was going to say when I was calling in. That had such good Colorado players for so long. Honey, Coach Prime just came in and washed his hand and said, "Break, let's play."
Yep. I agree.
He explained it well as to some of the reasoning why, and I get that. But it's like, Jesus, if he was that freaking good, it shouldn't have took us 20 years to hear about Colorado and Coach Prime coming there for us to hear about him. I'm just saying, and I love Colorado. I don't mean it ugly, but I'm just saying what I'm saying. And let me ask you this last question. I'm hanging up.
Yeah.
We have had a problem. Coach Prime has talked about it over and over and over with leadership
Yes.
on a football team. Football teams, great football teams that win championships, can't win it without it.
Yep.
As much as I love Juju already, I like the child already, I do have to ask that question. Where do you think his maturity, because he's a high school graduate, so we got to show some grace there. I mean, he didn't even graduate. He should be in high school right now.
Yep.
Okay. So where do we get this leadership from that is so desperately needed on the field?
Yep.
Because from Colorado next season.
Yeah, no, it comes from the quarterback position. The problem is it can only come if you're the starting quarterback. You're not going to get leadership from a guy who's sitting on the bench, not playing. So now that Juju is in, the one thing that everybody does already talk about this week is how poised and what he's able to bring from that spot. That's where that leadership comes from. And the fact that he is only should be a high school senior / freshman. And he's kind of taken those reins already, and he's already talking to his teammates, and he's already planning to, he's telling the kid, the guys on the team, you're not going anywhere for the bye week. You're not leaving, even though we have nothing to play for because we can't make a bowl game. You're going to stay here and work with me because we're going to get things right. That is a sign of leadership. You know what I mean? That's a sign of leadership. And you can't do that until you're named the starting quarterback. There's a hierarchy to football. You're not going to listen to some guy who's sitting on the bench. I'm not going to listen to some guy who's sitting on the bench when I'm playing. But now that he's playing and he is the guy and the team has given the keys to him and said, you're in control, he can now bring out that leadership. And he has. I mean, we're already seeing it in action. So that's, I think, where that comes from. And that's, again, why with the prior quarterback setup we had, he was not showing that leadership. There's nothing you can do until he's no longer that quarterback, which now we see. Does that make sense?
Perfect. I just want to see that it was in Juju, because I'll be honest, when I look at him, I just can't look at him and say leader. And again, the grace of that is he still should be in high school. So we're not going to try to put too much leadership pressure on him. But I just wanted to know that you all saw some of that in him. And if you all see it, I'm with it.
I do. I saw that in what he said after the game. The fact that he said, the interview that I showed where he said, we're staying, we're going to get ready for next year. I'm ready to go. That's a sign of leadership. When you hear some of the other players getting interviewed and the way they're talking about it and the way they're talking about how the team is operating differently, that's another sign that the leadership's there. When Coach Prime talks about Julian Lewis and what he was able to do and how impressed he was, those little things, they may not be directly like, this is something they said, this is leadership. Those are just signs that things are in a completely different direction with him at quarterback and doing that. So I totally get the question and I appreciate the question. And that's the best thing I can say is you can definitely just feel it from the outside. If we can feel it from the outside, then definitely inside the locker room is feeling a lot different.
All right, Russ. Well, I'll take that. I'll take that from you because I am your show because I know I can trust what you say. I actually like you better by yourself than with Dave. No disrespect, Dave. No disrespect. Sorry, don't mean it ugly. Just like what I like. But thank you so much for taking my call. Y'all
I appreciate you, Alexis. I appreciate you. You too. You have a great night.
All right.
Okay, guys. I'm going to read some more comments here. We're going to shut down the phone lines real quick. just so I can get to all your comments and we can get, again, you guys have absolutely killed it on the super chats today. Coach Barry, Juju showed leadership already. Seton also shows it. Seton shows it. It's just hard when it's the left tackle versus the quarterback. And when the quarterback's not leading, your quarterback has to be a leader. Has to be. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Can other people on the team be leaders? Absolutely. Now, going into next year, I think we have our leaders in place. I think Juju and Seton on offense, and I think on defense, for sure, Tafiq Bayard is going to be one of your leaders. Now, the question is, could London Merritt also grab that leadership role as we finish the season out, as we go into the offseason if he returns? That's another guy that I think could be your leaders. But I think those 4 guys absolutely have to be your leaders if you want to be successful moving forward. Let me know if you guys agree with that or not. I think that's who it is. Oh, and looking at Marlo, I didn't even see your comment, okay? I'm like way up on the page. But I agree. This is part of your leadership for the thing. I also think Tafiq Bayard can be a leader because he's an absolute dog on the field, and he shows it, guys. He shows it. So that's where it's at, too. Yeah, and I could see where wide receiver needs to be as well, Brandon. I think Omarion could be that. Yes, Bayard will be. I'm praying London don't get picked off by a Power 5. I mean, Coach Barry, he had a chance to go to Ohio State. We stole London Merritt from Ohio State. That says something about how he feels about Colorado. Win or lose. Just saying. And he got to play. He got to play, guys. He would probably not have played at Ohio State had he gone there. Just saying. Just saying. Spaceships, you're not wrong. Goodness me, that is probably his best attribute, is his footwork. And as a Broncos fan who's now dealing with a Bo Nix who doesn't have the greatest of footwork and it's causing some issues, trust me, Julian Lewis has unbelievable footwork in the pocket. Yeah, so why would London Merritt go there if they already have another, lineman in their pocket, is my point. So yeah, they did. But big difference from the other way around. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it there. I appreciate you guys so much. You've been unbelievable. I need to give big thanks to all of our super chats. Coach Barry coming in huge, okay? Coming in huge with $25. Clay Farmer coming in huge with the 50. Clay, you're absolutely a madman and unbelievable. I really, really do appreciate it. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. Thank you to all of the members of the channel. Members of the channel right now. We've got a new member too. We've got a couple new members. No, we got just the same members. Never mind. Sorry, wrong thing. But our members, Keith, Northside, Brian C, D Nice, David Talks Buffs. I appreciate all you guys for the cup of coffee. As always, you will get a shout out every single time. I appreciate you guys so very much. David Talks Buffs, 11-month member. Keith, 11-month member. D Nice, 4-month member. Brian C, 1 month. Northside, 1 month. Appreciate you guys so very much for being a part of the show and being a part of this. Jay, I would agree with that. He really wasn't. He was kind of an outlier, okay? Not compared to the other guys and how they are. But we appreciate all you guys so much. Come back in an hour's time for the Buff Blitz with David Talks Buffs. I will see you guys in an hour's time. We'll get to talk more about the Buffs, get David's opinions, get my opinions. We'll talk about what this team needs to do building-wise, what this team needs to do heading into the bye week, what we're hearing, what we're seeing, all of that fun stuff, and just have a fun time, okay? It's a Wednesday night on a bye week. Come out, hang with us, and we'll have a grand old time here on the Buff Blitz. Of course, as Coach Barry said, hit that like button on the way out, please. It helps so much. The show will get so much more wider appeal and more people get to see it if there are likes. That's how YouTube works. And of course, the subscribers, I appreciate you as well. We're getting close to that 6,000 mark. Maybe we'll hit it by the end of the season. Who knows? We're about to hit that 5,800, so about 200 subs away from 6,000 on the season. I appreciate you guys so much. Until an hour from now, tonight, I'm Russ for the Buffs News Weekly Live. I appreciate you guys. And as always, go Buffs.